Episode 5 of Keats Cash Plays, heading to Woodbine. Let's do this. Welcome, horse racing fans, to episode 5 of Keats Cash Plays. My name is Keith, and you can find me at the handle Each Every Stride on X Twitter. Appreciate you joining me again here. This is episode 5. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe to Trust the Profits. All the support is greatly appreciated. And as we look here, we have a recap. We've actually had 4 weeks in the books now for Keats Cash Plays. And I wanted to give you guys an update and share. Really appreciated you all joining me for this. This has been a great experience trying to find these price horses. And as of the start of week 5, in the money results are in, and we actually got a bump up in the percentage, and I'll explain why on that. We got 7 out of 19 horses now have hit the money, so trifecta at least. So that's a 36%, clip there. So I'm actually very satisfied with that. You have to remember that these are price horses. These are horses I'm hoping with me and my guests that I bring on the show are going to be 5 to 1 or higher, and we're going to make a case for each horse. And really, we've seen some results here, so I'm very pleased with that. And we have some other highlights of, the week 1 was a great start to the show with 4 second place finishers out of 5 races. And that was a great lump sum of $33.56, just on a $2 win play show, a bet for each horse. And our biggest payout to date actually happened last week on episode 4. That was Necker Island there at Oak Lawn Park on December 9th. And that was my man, Wolf of Oak Lawn. Shout out to the Wolf of Oak Lawn for that great pick. The win place show, that was a place horse that finished with $12.20 as the payout. Great. So that was a nice review there. And now, as we go to episode 5 for Woodbine, this is going to be closing weekend for Woodbine. It's been a great meet. We've had some great featured races, like even the $1 million King's Plate earlier this year, and even the great turf racing that they've had there. And I thought, what a better track to pick this week. And this has been the featured track on the cocktail lounge here on the Trust the Profits. So really great support by the track and with Trust the Profits. And, who else to bring on the show for episode 5 to, find these price horses. And this is a man that knows Woodbine like the back of his hand. This is also the nicest gentleman on HRT and a great racing ambassador, none other than Sean Patrick Nolan. How you doing today, Sean? And welcome to the show. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks so much for that nice introduction, Keith. Always great to be with you, my man. And thank you. Yeah, excited to be with you. Excited. Can't believe that the Woodbine season's already done. Again, thank you to our friends up there at Woodbine for giving us the signal. And thank you, Keith, for you coming on with us and handicapping some winners for us, making us winners. But so excited to be with you and ready to bring out the meat strong. So I was excited to do this with you.
Thank you so much, Sean. And yeah, I just thought it was great timing. The meet is ending, and it's been a very solid meet. And just wanted to, who else could I bring on the show to talk some Woodbine? And yeah, we're gonna talk about some price horses here, and
Yep.
appreciate you joining me. And good, so I'll pull up some PPs and let's talk some horses here with you, Sean.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Awesome, my man. And great. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 3 horses each that we're hoping that is going to be 5 to 1 morning line or higher.
Yep.
Right now we don't know the morning lines, or
We don't.
hopefully we can get a nice price on these horses. And yeah, we got some nice fields here. And this is going to be for Saturday, December 16th at Woodbine, closing weekend. And did you have a horse in mind here to start us off, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll start us off here. We'll go to race 3.
Very good.
A,
Yeah,
a,
let's
a
go to
six
race
and a
3.
half furlong maiden optional claiming race. at Woodbine, and these are always interesting here. Usually during the middle of the season, you will see an open horse in these races, but it's the end of the season, so everyone's in for a tag, which is
Mm.
very unusual for what I'm saying, but it makes the race a little bit more competitive and exciting.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
exactly. But I am on for this race, Home for a Rest on the outside
All
for
right.
Robert
So, yeah.
Tiller and the always popular in the cocktail lounge, Sophie Vives, who has had an amazing uh, opening year as an apprentice up there. She has really turned a lot of heads. 16%. She's doing great up there. So very excited about this one. And if you want me to talk a little bit about this horse, so Home for a Rest, okay, is owned by Frank DiGiulio Jr. And if anyone is up there more familiar with he owned the famous Pink Lloyd,
Oh,
and
wow. So,
he also has the great Seamus up there who just had his undefeated streak snapped. So he and Robert Tiller, the family, the Giulio family, and Robert Tiller go way back. So any horse that they put out, you have to consider. And when he adds Sophia, who they started out slow, they did not
right.
believe at the first, but they have really been coming on together. So I think this is a definite horse. And if you look at this horse, Sky Schnitz rode it for the first time and went off at 14-1, which would
Right.
say to me, knowing the way the public bets Robert and especially DiGiulio horses, they weren't crazy about this horse winning first time.
That's right.
So he goes to the bug girl Sophie, who's done. They've done very well together lately. I can just throw this horse out. Had a terrible start, and so many babies up there. It's very hard to get a good start, especially that first start on the poly track.
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking at this almost as like their first start of the year. So you know what I'm saying, really, and with that effort under the belt out of the gate, getting the weight, getting Sophie, and this isn't really
Angles.
a huge like great field. You know what I'm saying in terms of like what it's taking on. So I think any improvement, I think this horse could be a major player, and I'm hoping to get like 6-7-1 if we can, and I think this horse would be very live.
I love it. You bring a lot of good points there, and yeah, you gotta love, second time starter, and just, maybe just learned a lot on that first start. So, a great pick there, Sean. I like that. Home for a Rest. That was race 3 at Woodbine on Saturday, and
Yep.
great, very good. So yeah, well, let's take a look. We're gonna pick 3 horses each, so we'll go back and forth here. I'm looking at race 4. So let's take a
Yes.
look at
Okay.
race 4 at Woodbine for you. And I am going to look at the number 3 horse here. Let's take a look at this horse a little closer.
Sure. Absolutely.
All right, let's go pull this up here for you. All right, very good. Oh yeah, here she is. It's Gav's Dream Girl.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about Gav's Dream Girl. Now, this was interesting, is that this horse lost the rider at the start on December 1st. I watched the replay. It was, stumbling start. It was, pretty scary situation. Hopefully, everybody was all right from that. And then, obviously, I'm going to throw out that race. The horse just never really got a shot. And this is kind of like the redo here from December 1st. And I just thought it was interesting that this horse. Now I know you've touched on this in the cocktail lounge too. Is that, but this horse sometimes they need to fill these races up at the end of the meet. This horse actually moves up in class to
It does.
claiming 15K, non-winners of 2. And I know that this is the end of the meet, like I was saying, but with the trainer DePaula, maybe just trying to get a race in. And I just thought it was interesting to go into a higher class after having such a troubled trip and not even, finishing the race. And then this horse actually does well, Gab's Dream Girl, at the 6 furlong distance,
Yep.
especially this year. I looked back at these PPs, and as we see here a little further, is that this horse actually was second and third in 2 tries at this distance this year, 6 furlongs.
Yep.
And also, if you look at last year, this horse since September of last year had four straight in the money finishes. I know they were all at different distances, but mostly around this this 6 furlong distance. And I'm hoping to get a price on Saturday just to, Gav's Dream Girl, just obviously throw out the last race and run back to those previous races. Could really get a price here. And you get, Contreras aboard was another thing that I looked at. And I just thought that, watching that replay of the last race and just, see this horse actually had talent with four in the straight money finishes. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at Gav's Dream Girl for race 4.
Yeah, and then and you make some fabulous points there, my friend. I mean, Contreras has ridden a lot for Santino over the years, and and Santino, for a lot of people, also know won the Sovereign Award for his photography. So he's a
Oh yeah,
multi-talented dude. But yeah, the fact that he brings this horse back up, Louis takes the mount for him. Exactly, you throw out the last one, and he was running
right.
against some horses like Telltale and those guys that were in that race. So that was a very tough 9,500 winners or two. So exactly the fact that he moves up and he has had success at this level and the distance.
Yeah.
I think it's a very solid pick, owned by his dad. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just thought if she could run back to those races of a lot of in the money finishes. It's really one of my angles with this show is we're looking for the in the money price
yeah.
horses
And
for
by
the
the
for the
way,
bigger
7 for
payouts.
19, take a bow. That's excellent. Well done. Yeah.
All right, very good. So we got one horse each that we picked there, and good, Sean. So would you like to share with everybody the second horse you were looking at? This is for
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
up Saturday at Woodbine.
Yeah, here we go. We're competing in the same race.
Awesome.
This is great. But yep, it's going to be Smiles for David, for Edwin Knight and Sophie Vives. And if you look at this horse here in race 4,
Okay,
um,
good.
Edwin Knight doesn't have a lot of horses, but this man just likes to hit the board.
Right.
16 starts, 3 wins, 6 seconds, 2/3. You don't get much better. Exactly. It's quantity and quality, which is as I like to
Yeah.
say. So exactly. So he's done great there. Sophie riding for him so far is only 0 for 1, but I mean that's one mount. You can't, exactly.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then, but you look at this horse, and the way this horse has been running goes up from 10,000 to 14,000. Okay. So what I always tell people at Woodbine, which is so tough, especially in the last few weeks, I rather want a horse who is in form rather than dropping and not in form. I will always take the
Right.
informed horse. Okay. Look at this horse since he's come back from 2 turns, 7 furlongs, wins impressively with Kazushi, right? 10,000 with Amanda Vandersmerch, who will be a very good young. She's a great apprentice, and she'll be very good in the upcoming years, right? But
Yeah.
just it gets a nice solid second, 10,000 coming up. So the 1 turn races are definitely to their fancy. Edwin puts Sophie on, gets the weight again. Sophie's been riding great. Look at Woodbine. It's 7 for 12 in the money, and the distance 2 seconds out of 3 starts. So I think this
Right.
horse can be a very valuable play. Hopefully, I'm looking at like 7, 8 to 1, and then and I think this horse could definitely be a player coming down the stretch for sure.
I love it. Yeah, you got a lot of angles there, and yeah, with the vibes, the jockey. We've touched on this in the cocktail lounges. Even the weight break can make a little big difference
Yep,
actually in
yep,
especially
yep.
horses that have been looking for it and just a little extra at the wire. So I like that pick a lot for Smiles for David.
Yeah, man. And I hope my buddy Robert Geller is saying "Tis now wins one for spin." Exactly, being out of Tis now. So,
I love it. I love it. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Sean, for sharing that. So that's two horses for Sean now. And
yeah,
I'm actually going to go right to race 8. So let's
yeah.
look
Go
at
ahead,
race
my
8
friend.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All these races now are on the synthetic at this
Yeah, they are.
point.
Yeah,
So
no
this
more
late in the
turf.
meet.
Yep, yep. That
Beautiful
ended in
turf course
November.
there.
Yep.
Very good. So I'm gonna look at let's see, I'm gonna look at the 6 horse. Let's pull this horse up here for you
Okay.
guys. All right, we got Pontiac actually. I'm gonna look at
Yes.
the 6 horse. This is gonna be race 8 with just our friend Justin Stein riding back, who has
Yes.
had a wonderful meet. We've talked about how hot, especially the last month or two for Justin,
Yeah.
has been on
He had
fire.
a terrible, terrible start for him. But these last few months, the real Justin Stein has shown up, and he's been remarkable. Yep.
I love it. Yeah, no, you got to ride the hot hand like that. And yeah, this is for Pontiac. This is first time routing at a similar distance. Had a brutal trip last time here on November 25th. Now I know the horse broke poorly and was bumped, kind of just got sandwiched in the beginning, and made a pretty aggressive middle move, which sometimes I look for these horses to make that move to kind of wake up. And then was Pontiac was actually stuck, was 3 or 5 wide, I read in the comment, and then was
Yep.
even 6 wide. That was actually an accurate comment. I watched the
It's very
replay,
much
and
so. Yep.
I look for these horses that can kind of, maybe you have an excuse for the trip and lost a lot of ground there. And I just thought with a cleaner break and the trip, this horse could, maybe second time kind of routing at this distance, maybe this first race was just a learning experience. And, kind of at the end of the meet here, I'm looking for these horses that can maybe even jump up, even before the end of the meet. And basically, the last race was a pretty competitive, I guess a non-graded stakes race, but it looks
Yeah.
like a pretty strong field there. And I found this cool stat about the trainer that we have. This is Barbara Minshaw is
Yes.
hitting at, and I think you've mentioned this on the lounge here too, is that she hits at 38% in the money with 2 year
Amazing.
olds.
Yeah. Yeah. She is the
So that is
queen. She
amazing.
is the queen of 2-year-old trainers at Woodbine. I mean, naturally, Mark Casse will have some good ones as well, and Kevin Attard, but she is truly the queen of the 2-year-olds. She knows how to get them ready early, and she's really she struggled early, which is interesting. She and Justin were kind of paralleled there, but both of them have caught fire at the end, and yeah, she's the queen of the 2-year-olds.
I love it. Yeah, that insight, and I just saw that with the formulator here. It's just made a great angle that I think we can get a price on this horse. I'm not sure, we don't know the morning lines yet, but just based on even the last 3 races have been kind of tough. I mean, I would say maybe hopefully like a mid price, like even 8-1. But we got to see come
Yeah.
post time.
Oh yeah, yeah, and Justin and Barbara have been a fabulous combination, and then you look at the horses that I mean, Babbo and Piper's Factor and No More Options. I mean, those are 3 really really good horses
Yeah,
going up against. So you
you
just
don't
got
have them in this
to
field.
chuck that one right out, and hope that it runs better, like more like it did on November 4th, and then the distance helps.
Exactly. No, I really like this card, and thank you. Yeah, can't get this insight anywhere else, folks, other than Sean Patrick Nolan. So you got to love it. All right, great. So we got that race covered, and I know you have one more horse here for the people. And which horse and what race were you looking at?
So, yep. So, race 7, we're going out to the outside, and our friend Seattle's Causeway for John LeBlanc and Leo Salas.
Great. Let's pull this up here. I want to hear
Here,
about
yep,
this horse.
yep,
Great.
sure, yep, absolutely, yep. There it is. Yep.
There you go. Thank you.
And this is John LeBlanc, and his barn right now has been on an absolute roll. Last week in the big stakes race, he entered grandson in the race, and even yours truly said, "What? Okay, what are we doing in this race?" Right? He missed by a nose. It
Wow.
was a huge race. So proud of him. Their barn, Telltale, all of them have been running very good at the end. And Leo jumps back on for LeBlanc. He's 17% with him, does very well with him. The blinkers come on, which I think will definitely help this horse. And lost to She Makes a Point, the Catherine Day Phillips horse, who's a very talented horse. and even in the Ashbridge. And I think that going back to this distance of 7 furlongs versus the
Right.
2 turns, I think will be instrumental for this horse. Owned, by the way, by Ron Gearkink for all the Daily Racing Form fans.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, he also owns a horse. Is that? Yep, exactly. So that's exciting there. And yeah, so I think this horse,
Love it.
and it's been working well too, which I like. Two
Yeah.
very solid works. I'd love to see in December who the horses are. I always tell people when you're doing the form for Woodbine in the beginning or the end of the season, look at the horses that can run well in the bad weather. You know what I'm saying? And I think this horse with the blinkers on, I just don't think the 2 turns was its cup of tea. As you see, it was tiring. I think the 7 furlongs will be right up its alley. Leo will have it in a perfect position. I think this horse will be a real solid play with the blinkers on.
I love it. Yeah, that's a really cool angle there. And yeah, you bring up a lot of points and definitely really think that could be, I don't know what price we can get on Seattle Causeway, but that's hopefully you get a nice price come Saturday.
Yeah, I'm hoping 6, 7 to 1 would be just lovely.
I love it. All right, cool. So then I know I owe you guys one more horse here. So
Yes, you
let's
do.
go let's go to race 9 here. So let's take a look.
Yep.
All right, and we're gonna pull up a horse here that caught my eye. Appreciate everybody joining us here today. We got let's see, we got race 9, and I'm looking at the 7 horse. Let's see who we got here for you. All right, let's look. Oh yeah, and I think you're familiar with this horse, right? Anna
I
Cara.
am. I have fed many a mint to Mrs. Anamkara, the one of the divas, the small diva that could for the Sarah Ritchie barn.
I love it. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this horse is, I know 0 for 6 on the year, but it's second time at this lower level after dropping, last time out. And I just thought, could be a live horse a second time at the lower level. And, last time she was like, inside horses and made a move and then was caught wide. Just was an uneven trip. And, if you look back at the races here we have in July at these high level races, like the Gregorian Bay, and then we have the Thunder Bay, and those trips were rough. These trips, as I see here, let me pull this up for you guys. We got a bump at the start and then squeezed at the start.
Yep.
Even though the race at September in Fort Erie, she got free laid and kind of finished pretty well there,
She
but
did.
it
She did
looks
a
like a
great
fourth
job up there.
place.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the dirt. Yep.
Yeah, so I just thought with also these workouts, the after that November 11th effort, we have nice workouts here, and let's pull this up here. We got the workouts. Yeah, we got as far as these coming up here. Let's see. We got the bullet workout on November 25th
Yes.
that caught
Yep.
my eye, and then
Yep.
follows it up with a nice, very similar time at 5 furlongs as well. So just shows me that she's in good form. And like you say, sometimes these trainers at the end of the meet, maybe I was surprised actually that I saw 2 workouts there, even since that last race. So that just was another good sign for me for the horse.
Yep. Absolutely. She's in good shape. Yep. Yep.
Very good. And then, yeah, I just thought that she really had a live shot there. And so let's see. We'll review all our horses here. Let's take a look in here and see. I'll actually add this. All right. So for the people again, just name your horses one more time, Sean.
Sure. Yep. So in the third race, our pick was yep, sorry, my friend. Yeah,
Yeah, take
yeah.
your
So
time. Yeah.
our third race was Home for a Rest. In the fourth race, we had Smiles for David, and in the seventh race, we have Seattle Causeway.
All right. I'm just going to add this here and appreciate everybody joining me. These horses, we're really going to, we made the case for, and hopefully it'll be just something that we get a nice price on. And good. So we got race 3, race 4, and then let's see, I'm sorry, what was that third horse that you
Race
just
seven.
mentioned?
Yep, race seven. On the outside, Seattle Causeway.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Great. All right, cool. So let's add this here for everybody. All right, very good. So as far as here's our picks here scrolling on the bottom of the screen, and
Yep, yep.
it just nice recap here, and yeah, I appreciate everybody joining us here as I remove this here. So there's
Yeah.
our picks scrolling on the bottom of the screen, and what were your thoughts overall on the Woodbine meet? It felt like it flew by, but with some really nice, big racing and big purses too.
Oh yeah, they did great, and back to back Woodbine Mile winners in the Breeders' Cup Mile. So for everyone who's handicapped in Breeders' Cup going forward, check out that Woodbine Mile. Last year they finished first, second, and fourth. This year you had the winner. That race has become an ultra live race, and they had the King's Plate was a very solid race this year. First time
Definitely.
in years to have it the King. I still call it the Queen's Plate sometimes. Have it, but that was a great race. The International was fantastic.
Yeah, they even had Moira run well in the Breeders' Cup too.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that
Oh,
was a
she
great
ran
thing for Woodbine.
fantastic, and she will be back, which is so exciting
Oh,
for
all right, great. Well, you're breaking
she'll
the
be
news to
back.
me.
Yeah,
I was
she will
thinking
be
about
back.
that
So
today.
that will be
Love it.
very exciting. So yeah, exactly. And even my favorite girl, she struggled against the boys last week, but watch out for Millie girl. She's going to be really good, and she was great this year, and she's going to be even better. She's coming back for one more year for Catherine Day Phillips, and she's one talented lady. So overall, the year was fantastic, and some really good horses that throughout the meet, very low fatalities, which is amazing. The people up there do an amazing job with their horses, and just quality races. And with the addition of Ryan Munger, Sophie Vives, Amanda
Right.
Vandersmersh, that jockey colony became really good. And we really saw the emergence this year of my boy Sahin Savachi, who has
Good
always
point.
been a talent, but this year really came out into the limelight, rightfully so, and he's doing great. And of course, we wish the man, the myth, the legend, Kazushi Kimura, all the best at Santa Anita as he goes back to Santa Anita. Just another incredible year for him. He's a talented young man and a great kid too. So it's been a great
Love
year.
it.
Great
Yeah, I
year.
love it. What a recap there, Sean, and so glad to have you on Keats
Yeah,
Cash
I'm so
Plays
glad I
here.
could join. Yeah.
We'll have you. Obviously, I'm going to have you on again, and I just thought it was a great time, with the Woodbine meet
Oh, I'm
closing
honored.
down.
Thanks,
But
bud. So appreciate being in everybody. Yeah, please keep following Keith's picks. He's been doing fantastic. Puts a lot of
thank
effort
you.
into these things. And 7 for 19, folks. The numbers are showing. So definitely
Thank you
tune
so
in.
much. Yeah, and check out Sean's picks too. He comes out with a video before the cocktail lounge, and yeah, Sean has got some great insight for horse racing, and then Woodbine here too. So appreciate everybody joining us here for
Yeah,
episode 5, and yeah, we're going to keep it rolling here, and love having all these guests on with such great knowledge. You always learn something in horse racing. I learn it each day, and you become
you
a
definitely
better
do.
handicapper, and you surround yourself with great people like you. So
Oh,
thank you
thanks.
so
Right
much.
back at you. Exactly. Yep. So,
Awesome, guys. Well, remember just to keep cashing those tickets and keep it
yes.
moving. Take care now.